I know it's Super Bowl week, but the NBA does have its trade deadline during Super Bowl week. I don't think it's the best time to have it. I would have it next week. I'd move it, just like the NFL has moved free agency. Teams all the time alter their calendar. If I was the NBA and wanted more publicity, I'd do it next week. But this week there have been big trades, and nobody's benefited more than LeBron James. Last night he had 42 points. It's the most points ever for an old guy at 40 in the NBA. I don't know what it is. I think I do. But he is 40, and LeBron, like Bill Belichick, has a new relationship. And let's just say he's got a bounce in his step. He is 3-0 since the Luka trade. And I think we forget this about the greats. When you're great, things can come easier. Now, I'm not insinuating it's not hard work. But for a Mahomes and an MJ and a LeBron and a Messi, there's boredom. There's monotony. There's tedium. LeBron's played in over 1,500 regular season games. LeBron has played 3.5 seasons of just playoff games. So this season, even with AD and Austin Reeves and J.J. Redick, it kind of honestly felt like a train to nowhere. They weren't athletic enough. They weren't dynamic enough. Anthony Davis didn't really want to play the 5. He'd rather play the 4. Dalton Connect's fun but can't defend. They didn't have enough shooters. They didn't have enough defenders. And then Luka and Mark Williams happened, and the Lakers are younger. They're more dynamic, and they feel like they could win an NBA championship. I'll still favor Boston, but I think they match up pretty well with OKC. And I think LeBron's ride into the sunset in the last 3 to 4 days has taken a sharp U-turn, and I think he's more engaged. He's always been committed. He's more inspired. And I think when you're an all-time great, there's this work ethic to become legendary and iconic. But, I mean, when Michael Jordan's playing the new Raptors, who just got a new franchise, you think he's as inspired as he is playing the Celtics or the Pistons?
Yeah. So I totally hear what Colin's saying. But before we get started, I just want to say, I posted this video on this channel, but, all my basketball clips are on my other channel, JWL Hoops. So please do check it out. But I just wanted to post a couple videos on this channel as well, in case for some of those who don't know that I have a separate basketball channel. So please do go over there. Again, it's JWL Hoops. I'll put it in the bio or in the whatever the heck it's called, the description. But so in terms of what Colin is saying, I think there's a lot of validity, and I really do think that the Lakers can be championship contenders. I'm really going to bang on this drum a lot because it's what I truly, truly, truly believe. LeBron is going to be able to have games and nights like this. He's going to be able to get inspired and energized, etc., etc. But we saw him inspired and energized in the Olympics. And we saw moments when he was, he was able to help facilitate the team, no doubt about it, but he was clearly not LeBron. You could just see it. He was clearly just older. And it's just harder when the speed of the game increases in these big moments, in these big games, when the schedule gets condensed and you're playing more games in less days, it's just harder at this point for LeBron to be able to do that and continue to do it at such a high level. I'm in no way doubting LeBron James, but it is just a simple, biological thing. And we've seen it now multiple years in a row in the playoffs and the Olympics. We saw it in the Olympics and we know he was going, there's no way he wanted to have a silver, bronze, or no medal at all, because that would have been a legitimate stain on his legacy and his resume. It just would have been. It would have been a disaster to have KD, LeBron, Steph, all of them not get the gold. I mean, we already know how much they make fun of him for not getting it before, even though it wasn't his fault. So, it would be a real thing. And you could see, I'm watching that game. And there was definitely moments when you're like, that's the freight train that we know LeBron to be, right? And there was plenty of times in those games when I'm thinking, just get the ball to LeBron. Every time the game was starting to get a little crazy and a little sped up, I'm like, just get it to LeBron, just get it to LeBron. because he'll know exactly what to do in any given situation, right? And you could see some of these younger players like not be able to do that. You could see, Ant and co just like not really be there. And you could just see the maturity and the experience that LeBron brought. But make no mistake about it, he was clearly not who we know him to be. And I just think in the playoffs, that's when things get a little dicey. That's when things can get a little extra exhausting. Does LeBron James have a game like this in his belt? Absolutely. Clearly. Obviously. But in a 7-game series, it's just significantly harder. And I just don't know if adding Luka just automatically changes that. I mean, it changes in the fact that, LeBron knows that he doesn't have to put up 42 to win a game. And I think there was still that feeling that even with AD, that he was going to like really have to be that dude, every single moment of every single game, even on the nights when AD was coming up big. There was just like still that lack of trust and confidence that he could potentially have with Luka. I'm also sure we'll see the best version of Luka on the court. I bet you he'll probably complain less and just, be more focused on winning, etc., etc. And I think it'll take time for them to kind of get some rapport and get some momentum going together. And so again, like I do think that this Lakers team has, all the reason to be optimistic and excited, and there's a lot of momentum going now. But the biggest thing that I'm really trying to plant the flag on is just like, it's going to be harder than people think. And this whole idea of like LeBron looks energized, and that's great in short bursts. That's great. I mean, like we've all do that, right? Where you have like a near death experience, or you get in a relationship, someone gives you a second chance. You're like, I'm gonna be on my best behavior. I'm gonna be on my best behavior, and then you're like that for like a week or two, and then you just go back to normal. You go back to baseline. This right now of LeBron James is above baseline, and there's just only so much more of that left. I know LeBron is an absolute freak of nature, athletically, genetically, physically, everything. I get that. Like I said, I'm not doubting him. I'm not saying, oh, he's done, he'll never win again. I'm not saying that, but I'm just confident that he's just not the LeBron James that we truly know him to be. And it feels like you're going to really need some elevation for this Lakers team to really be able to like bring it all home, at least this season alone. It'll take some true heroics of Luka, and maybe that can happen. Maybe that absolutely can happen. It's certainly going to be interesting to watch, and I'm definitely excited to watch it unfold as well. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. Again, please check out my other YouTube channel, JWL Hoops. The link will be in the description. We're building something there, that I think is really awesome as well. And so I'd love to see you there. So please do give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. And thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.